Welcome to Tech Brothers with Ahmed. Today we are going to learn a scenario in which we want to create an SSIS package in which we will be using a store procedure. That store procedure will delete and update some records and return us the delete and update record counter. Once the store procedure is completed, we want to log the record count to a flat file in our SSIS package for our reference, and we need to append the records to that flat file on each of the execution of SSIS package. Now in this solution or video, what you will learn how to create SSIS package from scratch, how to create variables to hold the values from the Execute SQL task, how to create a store procedure that will return, delete and update record count, how to map those values that will be returned by the store procedure and to the variables, and last thing, how to write the values of variables to the flat file. So let's go and create our store procedure first, and then we will create the package. So here what you see, I have two tables. I have Asia, customer Asia, and I have customers NA North America, and I have a couple of records here, and I have three records in the second table. Now if you take a look, I have created a store procedure. I am saying create procedure, store procedure name, then I said as, use the begin keyword and declare two variables here. Now this is the update count and this one is the delete count. They both are integer type, and then I am using a update statement to update the values. So let's put some comments. Update records in customer AS. So we are using here update C means customer AS, customer Asia. That's alias I'm using here, so I took from that part, and then I'm updating the last name with the NA. So I have CNA, customer NA, so I'm updating with the last name of customer North America. So that's how I will be updating the record, and then I'm using the join here. So I selected the records from customer Asia and give the alias, and then I join with customer North America and give the alias CNA, and they are on ID. So as long as the IDs matches from both of the tables, we will be updating the records in customer Asia table with the customer North America last name for this column. Here, then what I said, set update count is equal to at the rate row count. This global variable is going to give us the number of rows affected by the this statement. So right after the statement, if we use this one, this gives us a number of records got affected by delete, update or insert right above that set query. So here we are setting it anything return, let's say this return 10 records got updated, so this will be having a 10 record count values here. So next what we are saying, delete from customer Asia, and we are saying first name in, so we are checking the first name. If it is in North America, we want to delete that, and the same thing I'm saying, delete count is equal to at the rate row count, at the rate row count. So this global variable, whatever the number of rows will be deleted, that will be saved here. The number of rows, not the rows itself, but the numbers got affected. Here there are multiple ways I could have done here with the output variable and the two variables for update count and delete count, but I have returned as a select statement, so I can use that one as well. So I'm selecting from variable as update count, delete count variable as delete count. So that's how I can also return the same count from my store procedure. So what is happening here, if I have multiple select, when we run this one in Execute SQL Task, the last statement, whatever that will return, that will be saved in the result set. So that's as I have only one select statement, so we are good. And if you have multiple select statements, you need to remember the last select statement result, whatever it will return, that will be saved in the execute SQL task result set. Now if I run this, let's go ahead and drop this store procedure I have created for the testing. Let me show you how it will return. So we drop the store procedure. Let's create it. So we create the store procedure. Next, we are going to execute. So select this part and say execute. And as you can see that there are 2 records they got updated and 2 records those are deleted. So if I go here, and now I don't have any record in this table. Yes, this is not really true test. I updated the records and deleted all of them. So but that's fine. Our goal is to learn the technique, not okay how accurate is my data. So here what I did, I dropped the table again, and now I'm inserting 2 records. I can insert 1, so I'm inserting 2 records from the North America table to the Asia table. So we can run the same test in our SSIS package. Now you see that the both tables has the records, and if I run the store procedure again, they're gonna update 2 records because the IDs are same here and here, and then we are going to delete them as first name is matching. So that will do it. So that will return us 2 updated and 2 deleted counter. Now go to the SSIS package and we are going to use this store procedure. Open your project. Let's create a new SSIS package by right clicking here. We say new SSIS package, and we will be using Execute SQL Task to run our store procedure. So we can go ahead and run our store procedure. First of all, we have to make a connection, and I'm going to use the test database connection. So hit OK. Here we will place our execute SQL. So we can say execute our store procedure. Now we know that this store procedure run updates and deletes, and then it return us 1 single row. So we have to go to result set and say single row. So it is not returning us a full result set, it is only returning a single row with multiple columns. So that's fine. So we got selected the single row. Next part, what we need to do here, we go to result set and map those values. So we are going to get a single row but multiple columns. So I'm going to give this result name 0 index, and then I'm going to create a variable and call this update count. And this can be right now we can, this is going to give us the integer, so we can use that part. Let's use int 16, that's fine. Right now you can put 0 whatever, because if you are declaring it as integer, it asks you okay you have to put some value. So you can put any value, you can put 1000, your choice, it will be overwritten. So we have update count. Next is delete count. So next index will be 1, as we are returning columns from this will be starting from 0, that's the first column, and then it will be second column starting with the index 1. So index is started with 0 here, and then we have to map those 2 variables, and here we can call it delete cnt, and we can go for int 16. A variable must be specified for the selected a value should be provided. So we can provide 0 here, fine. Okay, sorry, what we did here, hit OK. Now let's go to the variables here, and one thing I would like to say, this is we don't want to just this one as delete only was okay, this was, sorry, this is update and this is should be delete counter, right? So let me delete this one. What happened exactly, it was too quick, and package 8, that's correct, that's the name of our package, and delete count, and it is and probably it's set to only read only, so we don't want it just a read. Let me go back and create this one. So here I'm going to create the variable again. So I didn't want it to click here, but somehow I did it that way. It kept it only read, and we were not able to see here or set the value. So we are gonna recreate it, and we are gonna say and provide the value 0. This is not read only, we are going to update it, so keep it as it is. Hit OK. Now they are all set. Hit OK. Now once we run this store procedure, it is going to return us a single row. The values will be saved in these variables. Next part, we want to write these values of variables into our flat file. What I want to do here, I want to rename the package, give some proper name. So I will say package get customer update delete count. Why I'm saying it? Because I want to log this name of a package to the file as well, instead of saying package 8. That doesn't make sense. So come here. Now here there would be multiple things we can do. We have to use our one of the source. So people can use a script component can be used as a source, and then you can use those variable values. You can use OLEDB source and then build your query in third variable here and use that as a source query as well. Now in my case, I'm going to use a little different technique. When you don't want to go through expressions and all those kind of things, how we can do it. So here if you see, I'm not really using anything. I'm going to say select one as a dummy. Now if I go to the columns, I have the dummy. So fine, I'm not using anything here, not building or using the variables here, but I will be using a derived column here, and I will build my columns from that variables. So I'm going to use the variables. I will say delete, I will say delete count, and here I'm going to use the update count. There are different ways to do it, but this is what I feel like this is more easy. And then I want to use one system variable that will tell us the package name, because with the package name we want to say this package ran at this time is also good. We want to have a start time that will give us a time. We can use the get date, but start time is a constant time, or that's going to be same time across the package while you will run it. You can use this one. This is the starting time of your package. You can use this, or you can use get date, depends whatever you like. And now we can call it load date time, or any let's keep it a load date time. Now we have all these columns set. The dummy, if you see, we have the dummy as well, but we didn't build it here. Dummy is built in the OLEDB source, so we don't have to do anything. I'm going to show you next part. We need to write these values to the destination. We will be writing to the flat file destination. There are multiple ways. If we want to create a file with the date time, we can do it by writing expression on this file. Override data. Let's make a connection first, and we can call it a delimited file, or fix it, whatever you want to create. Now here, browse to the folder where you want to create that file, and I'm going to call this one to the, let's say, input folder, and I will say customer log information or load information, and then it will be .txt. Hit OK. Now we want to column names in the first row, yes, and if you remember, we have the columns dummy here, and we can go back here and we can remove the dummy from here. We don't care about dummy, we just want to have a package name, and we can, let's see if we can move those. Hold on. So I think so we should be able to move them up and down. I don't, this is new. Okay, add a new column, insert before or after. We can't really move them, but if we want to move them, what I will do, I will go ahead and create let's say if I want to really move them, then I will go to the derived column transformation and create them in sequence, so they will be in the sequence, but I don't care in this case. So override data in the file, so I don't want to override it, I want to write it, append it, so that's fine. Go to mappings, and here we can have those input columns and destination column. These are coming from our derived column, and we have used the variables to build them. Here is our destination, that's going to be flat file. Hit OK. Now we are all set. We are running our execute SQL task, SQL run sp, return the count for update and delete, and then we are creating a log file, dft load log file, by using those variables, update count and delete count. Now we go ahead and run our SSIS package and see what happened. Long package, huh? So it ran. We didn't see there are 2 records or 3 records got updated or deleted, but we have the file loaded. We can see that one row is written to the flat file destination. Let's go back to the input folder, and here take a look. We have on the desktop, we have input folder, and here we have a customer log information, and we see that deleted count, updated count, package name, and we have a date time to it. So that's great. We learn how to write the values of variables to the flat file in SSIS package. We learn how to get the deleted count and updated count from a store procedure and return to the variables or save into variables. And we also learn if the package will run multiple times, what happen. It will be appending the record in the log file. So here in this case, let's now make it 1, and we are gonna insert this record. Let me drop this table real quick, and then I'm gonna create this table by using only 1 record. Now we see here we have 1 record in the customer Asia. We have 3 records, so there would be different count coming for the delete and update. Let's run this package one more time to make sure our process is working correctly. It ran successfully, great. We don't see any count here in the package. Yes, so we have to go to the log file and take a look. Wow, so it is inserting a second entry with the header and all that, and then you are inserting the record count that is our delete, update, and package name and all that. I am thinking to create another video where you don't see this second header putting in the file. What happened, we could have just create the first down file with these values by ourselves, and then in the file connection manager we can go ahead and select the part, okay, where we say, okay, you want to have the header on each row, column names in the first row. Let's do this one right now. So if I will select now, the first time we create this one, we have to go back. Let's see if override data, and we don't want it. And now we have to map the columns by ourselves one more time. I want to show you, see the column right now, the column names we removed them, so they came as the column 0, 1, 2, 3, but we know that what is the sequence between them, so we can map them. So first time we create with, and then we come back to the file, and then we save it. Let me write the record again. So next time you see, if I drop the table, I don't know, somehow all those scenarios come every time, and I want to feel like okay, go ahead and I want to do it. So now if we see our file here, it has the header twice. If we should run this package again, and we have removed the header now, it should put a record here, but it should not put any more header moving forward. So first time we can create with the header, then go back, change the package, and after that we can save and keep executing onwards. But that's not a really great way to do it, and there is some manual work, but I will come up with another solution. So you can see that now our package is only logging the information. It is not putting the header every time, and when it is appending the record. So that's great. Thanks very much for watching this video, and I'm gonna see you in next video for sure.